Hey, what is going on, guys? Sergeant's Tech Tips. Welcome to another video on the channel. Now, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Vivaldi browser. I think that's how you pronounce it. Vivaldi. Yeah, that sounds about right. We're just going to go ahead and download it straight from Google or Bing in this case. We're just going to look up Vivaldi. We're just going to do download Vivaldi. I'm just going to download it up here. Pretty quick download depending on your internet connection. Now we can go ahead and open file. It's going to bring it to our downloads folder, goes out of Edge, and then go ahead and open this. I do want to make this very clear. This is not a tutorial per se, but you can follow the beginning of this video to kind of help you install it. All right, now we can go ahead and install it. It does allow you to share crash reports to improve product quality. I'll go ahead and check that. I don't mind. Click install. There is an advanced tab. I'm not going to look at that. We are really mainly just looking at the browser itself. Here we are. I did see down here it said made with love from Europe, so maybe it is a European browser. All right, now we can go ahead and take a look at it. I did make it a certain size. I'll just zoom in on it when I, edit the video and stuff. So it looks like we can set up Vivaldi for keyboard use and assistive technology. I'm not going to do that. Crash reports is fine. I'm not going to put an email in. So it looks like you have some checkboxes here. You got keep Vivaldi in taskbar, set Vivaldi as default browser, and import from other. I'm not going to import, but setting it as default is fine. Set default. Gonna change most of them. I'm not going to go through. I usually go through and change all these on my main PC, but I'm not going to do that. In terms of privacy, it looks like it comes with a built-in tracker and ad blocker, kind of like Opera, stating that I'm in control, block as much or as little as you want. You can adjust the global site-specific blocking preferences from settings. We're going to just go ahead and block trackers and ads. Here we are. It actually looks very similar to Opera GX and Opera, like on the sidebar here, which I bet you we can hide that. We can. So we got Vivaldi, dark, paint, and soft pink for the kinds. We're just going to do dark. Looks like you can have your workspaces be on a certain screen. I'll just leave it at the top. Vivaldi is not only a browser, it is a mail client, a calendar, and a feed reader, all built in. Choose the full package or start simple and add features as you go. I'm going to leave it for now. Actually, I'll add them. Got to set it up. Go ahead and start browsing. This is kind of just the, welcome screen, you could say. Looks pretty cool. It's not terrible. It seems pretty smooth in terms of moving it around and stuff. This is where your tabs are at, which I'm wondering. So you can middle click on it with your mouse wheel and close a tab. You cannot middle click and open a tab like you can in some other browsers, which is interesting. Now let's just go straight to Google. That was pretty quick, actually. That was actually very snappy. On the left here, we've got a little sidebar, or a panel as they call it. We've got our bookmarks. If we open that, these are all the bookmarks. We've got home, shopping, travel, bookmarks. Those are all the different folders. We've got those, shopping. Alrighty, so I actually had to restart because it was showing a weather tab, and it was actually basically doxing me, so we're not going to do that. Maybe I'll show that portion, but I'll just cover it up. But you can actually add widgets. I did just remove those widgets so we could add some new ones. You can actually click widget down here. You can add calendar, agenda, latest emails, sticky note, bookmarks, tasks, tip of the day, feeds, top sites, privacy statistics, web page, date, weather, and currency. So I did go ahead and add privacy statistics. So basically what it's going to show you is just what ads you have blocked, trackers you've blocked, bandwidth you've saved, and time that you have saved. So it's all got calendar, agenda, but I don't have that set up. We can add sticky notes, and it looks like that's kind of just a sticky note that stays there. Can you add another one? Okay, so you can add multiple sticky notes, which is kind of cool. I bet you if you did log in with Vivaldi's account, kind of like how Firefox is, it will probably sync this type of stuff, which is super cool. So you can actually add more widgets. I thought this was the max, but you just have to scroll down. You can click widget. You can add currency. We could add, I think that's really about it. We could add bookmarks as well. So pretty cool. The widgets system is pretty cool. You can also go to shopping, and it looks like the widgets will kind of depend on which tab up here you have for your bookmarks tab, I think is what they call it. I don't know if this is actually the bookmarks tab, but this is kind of how they have it set up, at least. You have your bookmarks, your history, and your notes. As I was pointing out earlier, this is our sidebar, and we can actually take a look at this. So we've got our downloads here, which will open up a downloads folder. This is our history. You can see all of our history. This is our notes, which it is not showing our notes that we have already, but you can add folders, which is cool. We've also got translate, so we can translate stuff. These are the windows and tabs you currently have open. You also got a reading list, so you can add stuff to the reading list. Like if you find an article, you can just add it to the reading list. So let's just look up car right here. And all we have to do is click plus. So if you actually look up an article that you want to save, you can just find the article you want. I looked up car. All you have to do is add is that plus sign, which I've already done that, and then you can click on it. So if we actually close out of this and stay on the same page, you can actually just double click it and it'll open it back up. So if you want to save an article for later, which I'm not 100% sure if it'll sync, but I'm assuming it will sync between your account and your browsers, as well as your mobile device if this is on mobile, which I'd assume it is. We've also got, what is this, feeds? So you can add feeds and stuff. I'm not going to mess with that. This is social.vivaldi.net. I'm not sure what this is yet. Kind of just looks like a ripoff of X. or Twitter, you could say. Kind of just looks like it has a lot of tech drama. There's a bottom bar I'm just noticing as well, which it does show the time, which the time is wrong. It is not 3:41 p.m. We've also got Vivaldi.com. This is just a help page, basically. Down here, we've also got Wikipedia, which I was just looking at a moment ago. Pretty cool that you can have it in the sidebar and just quickly, well, Wikipedia something cool, which is pretty cool. It looks like you can actually resize this. The animations are actually pretty smooth. They're probably not going to be as smooth as they would on like an actual operating system. This isn't a virtual machine, so kind of reminds me of the Samsung browser I looked at, which if you guys want to check that out, there will be a link up in the cards now. But it basically allows you to just have a website open so you can look something up. So I could look up car like I did prior, then I could view it, and then I could compare the notes to Google, for example. So if I just look up car, it'll just kind of bring it here, and obviously it's going to bring up the Wikipedia page. You can also have workspaces as well, so I can make a new workspace. I can make this travel workspace, and if I just go to car, it just brings me to that, and then I go back to this new workspace. I'm assuming you can rename it, edit workspace. We'll just call this work, or work-taka. That'll work, I suppose. But you can see the workspace does show up here, which is super nice. In terms of the bottom bar, we do have a settings wheel, a break mode, all these fading content and pausing media focus elsewhere for a while. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it just kind of pauses the page. It doesn't pause the sidebar, which is interesting, but if I have the whole page here, I could just pause it. You can click play again. So if I want to pause it and just minimize it, you could do that. And then when you unminimize it, you'd be like, oh, time to get back to work. And then you're good. Down here, we've got the sync not connected. This will allow you to connect to the Vivaldi account settings. So you can like kind of have your bookmarks and all your other information sync between devices, which is something I use religiously with Chrome and Firefox. Down here, we've got the toggle auto or UI auto hide, which you can actually use the keyboard shortcut for F11. Also got a capture page icon, which will be interesting to see. Let's just do full page, save as PNG capture, and then it just saves it directly to the users folder, the username, pictures, and Vivaldi captures. And then if we open that up, it just shows it here, which is nice. And it actually did capture the whole page, which is cool. We've also got this page tiling, so you can tile vertically, tile horizontally. So like if I do this and do tile to grid. Oh, okay. So yes, okay, so that makes sense. So basically what this does is it allows you to have tiles. You can kind of tile it how you want. So you can tile it vertically, horizontally, which I don't know why you'd use it like that. Maybe you'd have a use case. And you got tile to grid. Then you got untile tabs. So you don't really, if you don't want them tiled, but you can still have them in the same group. So let's do tile vertically. And I'm genuinely just curious to see how many pages we can fit together. But it doesn't look like it wants to put them together, which you might not be able to have 3 pages, which honestly would make sense. You don't really need more than 2, at least in my opinion. You can actually see we have blocked 3 ads, we've blocked 7 trackers, and we've saved about 0.44 megabytes. So that's actually pretty cool to see that that is working. I kind of wish more browsers had this, so it would kind of give you a peace of mind. In terms of other stuff we've got down here, we've got page actions, so you can do all this stuff. I'm not going to read all that, but that is stuff you can do. You can also use this to zoom, depending on which tab you're clicked in. I obviously can't zoom in this page because I'm not actually on a page, but if I go here to this start page, you can actually zoom in and out. I do appreciate having the time down here. I'm not someone who hides my taskbar, but it is handy and you can hover over it to get the full date as well. We've also got this little drop down menu, which we can search tabs. So if you have tons of tabs open, which I know some people end up doing for work and stuff, you just click this drop down and then search tabs. So if I search for car, it'll bring me to that tab. If I go to google.com, go back to the car page, search for this, type in Google, click that, it'll bring me to the tabs. So pretty cool to have. Up here, we've got the menu logo under the Vivaldi logo. We've got file. So it's basically just replacing the tab that you usually have right here, which browsers don't even really have anymore. This is the settings page. There is a way to donate. So if you would like to donate and you really like the browser, you can go ahead and do that. Looks like you can check startup, check on startup if it's your default browser, which most people just turn that off, especially me. In terms of this general page, there's not much here. We can go ahead and hide or show update settings. Looks like you can turn on or off productivity features. You also got different languages. And you can also just change the interface language if you would like as well. You can also change it to inherit from operating system or same as selected language. Sync, you just log in. Appearance, you can change your appearance here. There's like a bunch of different settings and stuff. You got restore default menu, reset, so you can just set everything to the default appearance. We got show status bar. We can also status info overlay. That doesn't do what I thought it was. I don't see anything overlaying. You can also just hide the status bar. You can also just change the user interface density, so you can make everything really tiny, but we obviously don't want to do that. You can also open settings in a new tab, open pop-ups on tabs. So if you want to so if I click that and I make a new tab, okay, so I accidentally hit it, but if I go ahead and click the cogwheel, it's going to open the settings in a completely new tab, so you don't have it in that tiny window, which I don't mind the tiny window. That doesn't bother me as much personally. I think it's fine. You can also do open pop-ups in tabs. So like if you're on a website and a lot of pop-ups happen, it'll open in a new tab instead of in the background, which sometimes they will do. Basically the tab or the window that pops up is forcing itself to stay in the background so you don't see it running, so it can try to get information from you. You can also turn the animations on or off. You've also got these settings such as native window. You can actually show the title bar. You can fade colors in background windows. You can change your setting. I would obviously just leave it on auto. You guys have different themes here. It looks like you can actually make your own theme, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to do that. You got like Purple Rain. That one's really bright. Private's pretty cool. That looks pretty good. Izuna is not terrible. Dark copy. That's pretty much the same thing. This one's called Human. This one's kind of cool. It's got like some orange effects to it. You can also import and export themes. You can use icon sets from different themes. You can also just change the icon set, which is cool. Kind of reminds me of Linux. It also does have Razer Chroma integration. I think it's just theme integration. So start page, you've got all the basic stuff. I'm not going to sit here and go through everything because most of the stuff is pretty straightforward. When I do reviews on software, I try to go through as much as I can, but I obviously don't want to go through everything all at once. But you can also do your columns as well, which is super handy. You can set it up to 4. I would probably do 3. I think that looks a lot cleaner personally. You've also got tabs. You can change your tabs to go on the left, right, or bottom. Honestly, I would leave them at the top. I think they look weird on the bottom. You could definitely do that though if you're, I don't know, you're crazy or something and you really want them on the bottom. You could probably get used to it after a while as well. But this is all just basic tab handling and tab displays. I don't know if this is buried in Chrome and Firefox, but I have not seen stuff like this. So this could definitely, maybe not necessarily be new, just something that is a little more versatile and allows you to actually change it unlike some other browsers. Also got panel here, so you can change the side of the screen that your panel is on. You can do show panel toggle, so if you just want to turn that on and off. You can also make it a floating panel and some other settings, which I'm not going to go through. You guys can pause it and take a look at that stuff. Same with any of the other tabs I've been through. It's got address bar settings. I don't really see anything that kind of stands out to me. You got bookmark settings. This is all just one screen. There's no scrolling. You've also got this search tab, which allows you to change your search engine, your private Windows search engine, which is actually cool. You can have 2 different search engines and then your image search engine. I'm going to choose Google. When I just tested it a minute ago, it did say Google is not a Vivaldi partner and recommended DuckDuckGo. I'm sure those search engines are fine, but I personally prefer Google. I know it tracks me. If you have a smartphone, you're being tracked anyway. I really wouldn't overthink it, but it is neat that you can have 2 separate search engines for different tasks that you're doing. You can also change your search engines that you have here. You can also add one, new engine. You can just add the URL, the name, and then nickname. You can also just click on it, remove it, delete. So if I don't like Yelp, click on it, delete, and it's gone. You can also click restore defaults. You also have shortcuts nicknames. So if I go up here, look up history, we could type Google and it'll show your history, which is super cool. You also have this quick commands tab. It looks like it gives you the ability to set quick commands up the way you want to. You've got your keyboard settings, so you can go through and set up keyboard shortcuts, which is super cool. I don't actually know if Firefox or Chrome has this. I have noticed this browser does seem a little more personalization focused, which is nice because a lot of browsers aren't like that, and I really hope more browsers turn into something like this. Same for your mouse. You can also set up gestures. Cool. So if I pull down, so that makes sense. So basically what I do is I use my hold down right click and then pull down. It opens up a new tab, and it does allow you to make different gestures and stuff, which is super interesting. I think you only get one gesture. Oh, okay, so this has different gestures. So if I want to edit one, let's click new tab. We're going to click edit, draw the gesture in the highlighted area. So basically, let's do a circle. Okay. So save gesture. And then if we go here, okay, I did the circle. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It doesn't really work on the main page, which makes sense. You're going to have to be in a tab, so I know it works, and then I can do a circle. It'll open a new tab. So that is a really cool feature you can do. I'm just going to go ahead and restore because I like the features it has. But in terms of that, there's not really much else in here for mouse. If you want to pause it, you can take a look. Also got privacy and security, which gives you some different privacy and security sections. It actually does have a VPN, which you can turn on up here. But that's it for the privacy and security tab. If we go to the performance tab, this is all just performance stuff. We can turn off hardware acceleration. For if you're on a laptop, you can turn on energy saver. You can also have a memory saver, which, speaking of which, let's actually see how much RAM Vivaldi is using. So it's using about what I expect. It is using about 516 megabytes. That's honestly not terrible. The only thing I never understood is why it has so many processes. That is pretty cool that it's only using about 500 megs. That's about in line with like Chrome and Firefox with just one tab open. So if I were to open like multiple tabs, all right, so I got a few tabs open. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 tabs open, multiple Googles, but it's kind of just to see how it would work. So let's actually see how much memory it's taking. We're using about 786, you could say about 800 megabytes. Still not terrible. It's not close to a gigabyte yet, but this does kind of seem a little resource heavy on RAM. You can limit it in the settings, which is super cool. And if we actually limit it, let's just see see if we can see the limit in real time. Yeah, you can actually see it going down. So it's trying to do something, which is super cool. That's it for the performance tab. If we go down to the downloads tab, you can change your download location. You can also save files to default location without asking if you just want to quickly save files. You also have the update default location when choosing save as location. You also got web pages here. This allows you to turn on smooth scrolling, picture-in-picture for videos, a little button, as well as some other options such as plugins, readers, as well as some image capturing, some fonts. You can change your fonts. For network, this just gives you some network settings. You can turn on or off DNS lookup over HTTPS. You can also report browser brand as Google Chrome. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do Vivaldi. In terms of mail, you got some basic settings here. You can turn off mail, calendar, and feeds, or just enable mail, calendar, and feeds, or have just feeds enabled. You guys have calendar, pretty much the same settings. We've also got feed settings, which allows you to add feeds if you would like to do so. You got feed detection, feed notifications, attachments, as well as unseen messages, unread messages, all that fun stuff. Like I said, not going to go through it. I'm just pointing that out multiple times in a video because I know some people scrub through videos. So display all does allow you to scroll through the settings without actually clicking on each category. I think clicking through each category is a little bit better because it does kind of help the end user kind of understand what setting they're in and what settings they're going to be changing, especially if they're searching for something, which they do provide a search bar up here, which is super nice. In terms of the browser, though, there's not really much else to talk about. I don't really see anything out of the blue, but it is a super neat browser. It seems pretty smooth. If there's any other browsers you guys want to see, just let me know in the comments below and I can definitely install and take a look at them. I don't mind doing so. I like taking a look at software. That's kind of part of the channel. So if there's anything specific you guys want to see, it doesn't necessarily have to be a browser, just any software. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop a like. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a dislike. If you did not, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not done so already. Please let me know if there's anything I missed in the comments below, especially if you are a longtime Vivaldi fan, because I might have missed something. If I did, let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely pin it, or it'll probably be somewhere at the top if you guys are curious. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next video, and peace out.